Well, hello, Polly. Welcome. I'm so glad you could join us. And welcome, everybody. And thank you, Toot, so much for the resub there. Appreciate you. 11 months. That means that I'm just like 1 month off of my my affiliate anniversary, which is amazing. If you're not familiar with how Twitch works, basically anybody can start streaming, but you can't start getting subs and doing channel points and that kind of thing until you reach a certain number of hours and a certain number of followers. So I started streaming, and then it took me about, a month and a half, 2 months to get to affiliate, I think. Oh, Polly, you've been looking forward to it all day? Awesome, awesome, awesome. We've got my baby up on screen. I'm hoping that this works. The putting a camera in one of the snake enclosures is more precarious than putting it in Pow's enclosure, because I need to make sure it's completely contained within the enclosure. I can't leave it cracked open like I do with Pow's. So it's always a little bit of an adventure, but he's been, see, it's bouncing around already and I have no idea why. He's been so active lately that I thought he might come out and spend a little bit of time with us. Moon, welcome in. Thank you so much for the hydrate. All right, let me grab my drink here. Everybody should be hydrating with me, please. I have a pina colada lemonade. It is absolutely incredible. It's so good. So yeah, hopefully Penny will come out. He was being so cute, just like, of course, 5 minutes before I started stream, he was laying there with his head poking out of his hide. So you can see him in the back there, inside the rock hide. That is my snake, my little Penny Bean. Oh, you can see an eye? Yay! I'm so glad. Oh, his marking. Okay. Yes, part of Penny's genetics is he's het clown, which means he carries the heterozygous gene for the clown morph, which makes his markings slightly different. So so his markings are quite pretty, I think, very distinctive, and that's partially the het clown. Ball python genetics are a little unhinged. Ball python breeders can do some amazing things with morphs, but they also really like naming the morphs outlandish things. Well, maybe if we stop watching him so closely, we'll get a little Penny Bean on camera. If you guys see him and you want a closer view, let me know. So I am cross-stitching tonight. Welcome, everybody. I hope that if you are joining me, that you have something lovely to hydrate with, you're nice and cozy and comfortable, and that you have a project to work on. And if you are working on anything, let me know. This piece is it's called Slow Down by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. I am making several edits to the pattern. This floral spray at the bottom was part of a much larger wreath that I'm actually not doing. I'm not doing the rest of the wreath. I'm just doing this little floral bit on the bottom. And the pattern annoyed me because it was off center, but I fixed it and now it looks off center when it actually is centered. So that's the cross I have to bear. And this is the absolutely beautiful 18 count Ada that Heather from Stitchwit sent me. To basically try out using 18 count. And I absolutely love it, which is actually why I've cut down this pattern, because it's a much bigger piece here. So I'm doing a smaller piece here so I can use the rest of it for a larger piece that I think is going to look really cool. And I'll show you guys what I'm planning. All right, Polly, enjoy your lurk, enjoy your dinner. We're just going to be chilling, hanging out. We've got Spirit City, as always, going on in the bottom. A little bit of lo-fi, some of the... I've got the night garden sound effects. What is it? Night forest sound effects going. So if you do want to change up the vibes, you can absolutely do that with the command on with the channel redeem on Twitch, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can let Toot know and they'll make it happen. So yes, this is Slow Down by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. It's so cute. Like, look at him got little cookies, and him got a warm drink, and little claws. So, I haven't finished the tortoise part yet. As you can see, I just have one color left on the tortoise body, and it's just filling in. So I skipped down to the to work on the floral spray. Thank you so much for the hydrate, Toot. It says it's DH bringing tea and cookies for Moon and her. Yep, that's it. It's a big mug of tea for Toot, and then I'm going to do a second run with coffee for Moon. Oh, peppermint vanilla for both of you? Okay. I will, I'll bring peppermint vanilla tea and cookies. And I know Moon has opinions on oatmeal raisin, so I'm saying that just for Moon, the cookies are chocolate chip. Even though if it was me, I would want them to be oatmeal raisin. I've made a few modifications to this pattern. Like I said, taking away the wreath, just doing this little bit of the floral spray. I've also changed up the colors a little bit. The reds, the rusty orangey reds, were a more of a bright red. It's actually described as chili red, but I swapped it out for sort of these pumpkin oranges instead. And then down in the floral spray, this center flower was actually like a light brown color. So I'm going to do it in the same pumpkin reds. And then there's a couple of like berries and mushrooms in here that I'm going to fill in. I love Pattern Keeper because it is kind of easy to make color changes and see how it's going to look. And I can show you guys how I do that in Pattern Keeper. I hecked up this row. But basically I just have to finish filling in this the body, the 611 that's missing in the body, and then like a couple flowers and mushrooms, and then she's done. Toot says, I was thinking I should have done Tui on a higher count Ada, and then the idea of trying to see the black stitches on black small Ada gave you a headache. Yeah, I can, I think it would have looked really cool, really neat, but trying to do those black stitches, like if it was maybe a couple hundred black stitches, but I believe your pattern has thousands of black stitches. I am planning on doing the Nostalgic Tarot from Witchy Stitcher on an 18 count black Ada. So I'm hoping there isn't very much black in the individual designs. I did think that doing the higher count Ada would lead to more headaches, but honestly it hasn't. The only difficulty I'm running into now is trying to fill in. I'm trying to get it as close as possible. Come on, focus. Trying to fill in. There's already so much fabric and like floss in those areas that trying to get the needle through is, and then trying to like see where there are gaps to fill in. I am doing a lot of squinting at it right up close. Morgan, you made it. Welcome in, Morgan. Our emo froggy friend, Morgan. And Toot says there is black. People are already mad. Oh no. I honestly wasn't 100% sure I was going to make it to stream today. Toot had a medical appointment this morning that we had to leave the house for. And as you know, leaving the house is the absolute worst thing you can do. But it all turned out. We got there and back, and I'm not too toasty. Oh, thank you, Morgan. This is Slow Down by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. And I'm working it on 18 count Ada, and I've made a few adjustments to the colors and things like that. And also it has a big floral spray that I'm not doing. I can show you guys actually. So this is my Pattern Keeper. So I ticked off the parts that I wasn't going to do. So you can see that there's this whole floral spray around the top with more berries and leaves and some mushrooms and things like that. And then the word slow down, which I also didn't include. So I took out all of that and I just added in the bottom floral spray. But also, if you look at it, the turtle is off center in the wreath. Like the shell is centered, but of course there's like the head is sticking out, so the middle of the turtle isn't the middle of the shell, right? So, which annoyed me. So I fixed it. So that's why my floral wreath is moved over. So the entire tort is now centered, but it now looks slightly off center because, anyways, I like it better this way. I think it'll look good once I get it into a hoop. But yeah, what you can do. So this is the program Pattern Keeper. And you can actually, after you put in your patterns, so if I go here and edit the legend, so the 918 and the 920 are the ones that I changed. So the 920 was supposed to be 349, I believe. So you can see that that immediately changes the mockup. And then the 918 was supposed to be, I think, 351, which is like this coral. So you can see like that's a significant difference in kind of the vibes. So I'm happy with what I did. And I made it the pumpkin-y purple instead. The pumpkin-y red orange instead. There you go. More of like an autumnal vibe. So that's under the edit legend function on your Pattern Keeper, if you're ever curious. These are the rest of my projects that I'm working on. Oh, thank you, Moon. Moon says my color changes are great. Aw. There's another project I have planned that I'm changing almost all of the colors for, and I'll show you guys that. Oh, I actually needed this pattern open because I needed doing a berry, and I don't know where the berry is. The counting part of counted cross stitch, the worst part. That's close enough. It'll be fine. I'm also really bad for winging things. Like if I'm off by a stitch or two, sometimes I'll make it work instead of frogging when I really should have frogged. Especially for something like this where I'm already making so many changes to the floral spray. Doesn't really matter if my berry is one stitch too far to the left. I'm being very careful with my Deadly Aquarium Sal though, because I don't know what the rest of the design looks like, and I don't know how difficult. If I hex something up, I don't know how difficult it will be to unhex until like a couple of months from now. So I'm being very careful with that to make sure all my stitches are in the right spot. But usually, it's feck it, it'll be grand. And Mama Witch is just such a good designer. Also, they were running a buy 7 get 40% off sale. on their Etsy store. Danger. Big danger. That. I think that's the last of the 920. The 918 is going to be for the rest of the mushrooms and things. Oh, thank you to just is putting up the link to Mama Witch Cross Stitch on Etsy. Sale is still running with buy 7 get 40 off. Join us, thrive. Hello, my son. Hello, my other son. Are you going to come onto camera, or are you just going to lurk just outside of camera? Just outside of camera. Gotcha. There, you guys got a little shot of the handsome man who was wandering all over my desk. He's here to help, but not be on screen. Usually I just kind of yeet my threads into a pile while I'm working with them, but this is the last I'm going to need this, so I'm actually taking the time to wind it all back up. I have a set of desk drawers next to me here, so I drop the thread that I'm not currently working with into the drawers, so that cats don't eat it. Yeah. Oh, he's looking so good. Such a distinguished little gentleman. Yes. Such a distinguished gentleman. There it is. So it's May. Almost. I can't believe it's almost May. Like, I feel like April went by so fast. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I feel like April went by so fast. A little bit of a hydration. And it's already May. So it's, of course, time to make plans for May. Crafting plans that I am in no way going to actually keep up with. But we're going to make them anyways. So let me show you guys. Thank you for the hydrate, dude. I will hydrate again. So I'll show you guys kind of like what I'm working on. So Whip Go is one of the cross stitch challenges that I'm currently doing. And that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Okay, well, we're looking at my Notion right now. This is my stitching log that I keep in Notion. So Whip Go is going on right now, which is a challenge that it's kind of like bingo. And the numbers are called at the end of the previous month for the next month. And then throughout the course of the month, you work on the 2 numbers called for that month. And if you complete it, then you check off the box and then you could get bingo. So I've been editing my Whip Go board as I go because Croissant was originally on 4 squares and then I ended up finishing them in 2 squares. So I've been like adding more squares from other projects. So the numbers called for this month were the free space, which I didn't have a project in, 19, which is the Spooktacular Sampler, and 5, which is also the Spooktacular Sampler. So Spooktacular Sampler, which is this project here, this one is going to get a lot of love in May. So this one's going to get a lot of love in May. Welcome back, Polly. Welcome back. We're just talking about my plans for May, my crafting plans for May. Showing off my Notion here. It says hi back, I'm front. So I would love to get this finished in May. I've got about, let's see, I can check. So total stitches 8,894, and I've done 2,000 stitches so far. So 6,800. That's not out of the realm of possibility for a month. We'll see. I've done the house and the people, and then like this upper corner here. Not even the whole upper corner, just some of the lettering. So I'd love to get this finished in May, maybe early June. Mainly because there's another sampler I want to start, but I kind of want to finish a sampler before I start another sampler. So getting this one finished is going to be my big goal in May, because my little slowdown, this guy, he's going to be finished like tomorrow, pretty much. Tomorrow or the next day. Today's the 29th, tomorrow's the 30th. Yeah, if I finish him like the 1st or the 2nd, I won't be too upset. He's 58% of the way finished as of yesterday, but I've done, oh good lord, I've done 589 stitches on him today. So that number is going to change quite a bit. So this one will become a finished object, hopefully in the next couple of days. And then my other whips that I have are Those Who Wait and the Deadly Aquarium Sal. Deadly Aquarium Sal, the first clue drops on the 24th of May. So I'm trying to keep up with the daily schedule of stitches in order to be able to finish the frame on the 23rd. Back. Yes, Morgan, Project Bingo is so cute. It is a great idea. So it's actually run through a group on Facebook by Jessie Makes Stuff. Jessie Marie Makes Stuff. Yes, I believe that's the thing. And she's the one who draws the numbers every month and announces them. So everybody who's participating in WhipGo has the same numbers drawn. But obviously, like what the number corresponds to depends on how your personal board or boards are set up. A lot of people have multiple boards. Like they'll have one for small projects, one for large projects, one for books they want to read, one for knitting projects, that kind of thing. But yeah, so Deadly Aquarium. This is the schedule. I have to do 150 stitches per day. So I went and just like generated that, so I know kind of where I need to be on any given day, and I'm actually caught up through the first, I believe. So I can afford not to work on it and focus on slow down for the next couple of days. Those Who Wait is my other big project. I'm just going to continue working on those. So basically for May, I want to focus on Spooktacular Sampler and Deadly Aquarium. There is, of course, another project that I want to start. So let's hop on over to my queue here, because I have a problem with starting new projects. I must compulsively start new projects. So this is my queue. This top section kitted, I have all of the supplies for these. I have all of the floss. I have all of the Ada. I could start these I have the pattern. I could start these at the drop of a hat. Unfortunately. So the Halloween heart, which is this one on the end, is what I'm going to be doing on the other half of this printed autumn Ada. I'm going to do it in black thread on the printed Ada. I think it's going to look really good. But obviously I have to finish him first. This is the other sampler that I'm going to start as soon as I finish Spooktacular. It's an Owl Forest embroidery piece. It was actually a freebie, which is amazing. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited to start it, and this is going to be on 18 count as well. But Spooktacular has to be finished first. But then the one that I think I'm going to start, like, probably as soon as I finish my Turtle Boy, is this little spooky craft corner one from Witchy Stitcher. It's so cute. It's also really small. It'll only take me a couple of days. Thank you for redeeming the hydrate, Toot. Toot says, I'm loving your hyperfocus, completely missing the message on your tortoise. You mean slow down? Take easy, also important? I have been taking it slow. Ish. I have slowed down a lot since last weekend. Let me tell you that. Last weekend was crazy. But yeah, I want to make this little piece. It's super tiny. It's 768 stitches. I'm going to do the ghosts in glow in the dark, and everything that's like the orangey color I'm going to do in like a lime green. And yeah, I'll just make a cute little sign. So I'm probably going to start that in the next couple of days. Just get that knocked out. So those are kind of my plans for... Those are my plans for May. I'm going to start and finish the spooky crafting corner. Hopefully finish Spooktacular Sampler. Keep up on Deadly Aquarium. Get a few stitches in on Those Who Wait. That's the plan. We'll see if I get completely squirreled by something else. The thing that's the most tempting, unfortunately. Also, you can look at my queue and see how much I enjoy Mama Witch cross stitch. This is Mama Witch. This is... No, that's Witchy Stitcher. This is Mama Witch, Mama Witch, Mama Witch, Mama Witch, Mama Witch, Mama Witch, Mama Witch. This project, however, I really want to start. I need to buy Ada for it, and I need to buy a few colors of floss. It's the Nostalgic Tarot by Witchy Stitcher. And it's not exactly a stitch along, because the Witchy Stitcher didn't mean to do it as a stitch along. She designed 2 of the cards, the Lovers and not the Fool, not the Empress. Death. She designed the Lovers and Death. And everybody just kind of like went insane for them. And so she decided to do the entire tarot. Let's see. And there's a frame for it that goes around like all 22 cards. She's just doing the major arcana. She's not doing the minor arcana. That would be ridiculous. And at first I was like, oh, I might just like pick a few of my favorite cards and do them. But I know I'm going to love all of them. And the only thing that was kind of holding me back from that was that I would have to buy Ada and that it would be such a big project. And honestly, the Ada is not that expensive. I have a small crafting budget. And it's going to bring me so much joy because, like, look at it. It's a Lisa Frank tarot. Like, look at this. Look at it. Love it. Death is a sparkly rainbow unicorn. It's so good. So I don't know. That's the only project that might make me break my plans and purchase some supplies because it's pulling at me. Oh, it's pulling at me. To pulling up the Wisdom of Socks. Yes. Summerween is in full swing for me. And yes, it'll match the Lisa Frank Ouija board that you've got in your queue. I think isn't that also Witchy Stitcher? I think Lisa Frank Spooky is just the Witchy Stitcher's bread and butter at this point. Like, I love it. I love it. Right? The aliens are so good. Oh, Moon found it for you? That's good. So yeah. So yeah, those are my crafting plans. I also have a knitting project out. If I feel like knitting, I'm going to do a few stitches on it. I'm not going to push myself. I'm not going to set any goals. I'm just going to have it available to myself for when I feel like it. So I think that's about it. May is kind of like a big challenge month for cross stitchers. And I'm not going to be participating in any of those challenges. I figure the Deadly Aquarium Sal is enough of a challenge right now. Moon says, when I found it for you, I think you said you would be afraid to stitch a Ouija board. Yes, I encouraged, because sometimes facing things that we are afraid of is good. I'm really glad I dove into working on 18 count, for example, because I love it. But yeah, May Stitch Mania is a thing. I found out it's still a thing. It's not the same thing that it used to be. But basically, Stitch Mania was a challenge in which people would start a new project every day in the month of May. Yes, start a new project every day in the month of May. So now I think people are... So the group that was originally doing Stitch Mania folded, and now people just kind of take Stitch Mania to set their own personal stitching challenges. So that might be starting a new project every weekend in May, trying to get a ridiculous amount of stitches in on a big project, something like that. And Toot is putting up the link to the Witchy Stitcher. Thank you very much. So the Witchy Stitcher is the one who designed the nostalgic tarot that I was just showing off. The tarot cards, as Toot said, they are a Patreon exclusive. So the Patreons get them first, and then they move to the Patreon store, and then they move to the Etsy store. So they'll be available on the Etsy store, I believe she said, in about 3 months. And she's releasing 2 cards a month. One at the beginning of the month and one in the middle of the month. Holly says, "Oh my, they better be tiny projects." I know, that was always my thought. Like, I'm all for ridiculous numbers of whips. Like, I love me ridiculous numbers of whips, and the new Project Serotonin. Starting 31 new projects in a month sounds exhausting. Like, at that point, the dopamine just isn't there anymore. But it works for some people. The problem I'm having with my own number of whips right now, I've got 6 cross stitch whips at the moment, is not that I start them and then I don't want to finish them. I want to work on all of them, like, at the same time. But I only have so many frames and hoops. And I really dislike moving frames and hoops. Or else I would probably be working on all 6 of them at the same time. Morgan says, yeah, same. Moon also hates moving hoops. Valid. I have... Like, I don't even really care for using hoops. The fact that this is in a hoop just means that I was really impatient to work on it and didn't want to be limited to the 2 projects that I have frames for. Oh my goodness. I was trying to get out my one of my other projects and just ended up completely getting myself tangled up. So when I say a frame versus a hoop, this is a Q-snap frame or just a frame. Q-snap is the Q-snap is like the brand name, but it's like Kleenex. Everybody just says Q-snap, even if it's not a Q-snap. And then a hoop is the more traditional embroidery hoop. So I've got 2 of these boys in the 8-inch size, which is my preferred size. I've got one in the 6-inch size, which is tiny, and one in the 12-inch size, which is slightly too large to comfortably stitch on. So, all about finding the right thing for the project. And thank you for the hydrate, dude. Everybody hydrate with me, please. Penny still hasn't come out of his hide, and the camera's slowly falling out of position. Hopefully he'll come and say hello before the end of stream. And before recently, I had never actually really worked on projects. Sorry, on large projects where I would have to move the frame. Or at least move the frame like more than once or twice. Like for the Deadly Aquarium, I've had to move it so much. Because before I was just doing projects that were about this size, right? Like this fits neatly inside a single working area. Lemon Moon's welcome. You're here for the nope rope. The nope rope is in his hide. He's in his rock hide. The camera is slowly falling in his enclosure. We're hoping that he comes out. Let's just take a quick peek. Yeah, there you can see him little curl. Just right at the back there. Sorry, I had a brief tech issue there. Toot is going to see if she can get his camera to stop slipping. I was saying before that the challenge with having a camera in the snake enclosures is that I have to make sure the camera and the stand is completely enclosed within the enclosure itself. I can't leave it slightly ajar as I do with POWs, because slightly ajar means slightly escapey. Come on, Penny Bean. Your adoring public wishes to see you. Aw, there he is. Look at the handsome man. Yes, so handsome. Such a distinguished gentleman. Coming to say hello to you. He loves you too, Moon. Oh. So Penny is a ball python. He is 2 years old, so he's a sub-adult. His beautiful coloration. You can see that he's quite a bit different from a wild type. Is from his morph. He is a lesser vanilla pastel het clown. So lesser and het clown mean that change the shape of his markings. Pastel and vanilla both lighten up his markings, so that gives him his beautiful appearance. Morgan says he's just a little guy. Yeah. Polly says he's like, seriously? I was hiding. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes he's super active and sometimes he isn't. He's been really super active for the last few days, which is why I was like, okay, we'll do a Penny stream. Also, his name is Pennywise because he's a clown. So if you're wondering why his name is Penny, it's Pennywise, and his entire enclosure is dairy themed. See, now he's hiding behind his cork. That's okay. Maybe he'll. Oh, baby, look at him, little face. My heart. And Early has come for pets, too. So we keep Penny, our ball python, as well as 2 corn snakes. So if you ever have any questions about any of our animals, please feel free to ask. We love talking about our babies. Oh no. I am attempting to stitch with some help from Early. Here, do you want me to push this back so you can lay down? Yeah, that's what you want. And ball pythons, I think, are probably one of the best beginner snakes because they are so chill. Like they're very slow moving. They've got big, thick, chunky bodies, so it's not like trying to hold on to a wiggly spaghetti noodle, like, and they're very slow moving. They're very chill. They're big old puppies. They are known for being a bit of a picky eater, so that's why some people often suggest other breeds over other types of snake over ball pythons. But honestly, I think the benefits of their personality outweigh any difficulties with feeding. But that is a consideration, especially if you don't keep snakes and you want to start keeping snakes and you're used to mammals like cats, for example. They eat several times a day. They poop several times a day. It's definitely a shift in perception to get used to caring for an animal that eats once every 2 weeks and can go for months and months without eating if they decide to, which is very hard the first time it happens. The first time Penny went on a hunger strike, I was a very worried father. This is just an animal hour now. No more crafting. Only animals. Dude says our whole life is animal hour. Yep. Because, like, a hunger strike and a ball python could be 6 months without eating, which sounds just way too long. But they're perfectly fine. That's just the way they roll. And meanwhile, their mammalian parents are like, please just eat. Please, my son. Looks like he's curled up on top of his cork now. He's just watching the camera. That thing is new. I'm getting completely distracted watching Penny. I've made mistakes on this little berry like 3 or 4 times already. Yes, squirrel. Except in this case, snake. And then we've got Early here. Hi. I know. Can you lay down? This is her new favorite spot to lay down. I rearranged my desk, you might have noticed. But I don't have the keyboard tray anymore, so I just have my keyboard on my desktop. And Early's new favorite spot to lay down and hang out with me is on my desktop between me and the keyboard, which does make it a little bit difficult to type. But she's cute, so I put up with it. Yeah, just like that. She just kind of curls up here. So we have been going for about an hour. So if you haven't already, take a second to stand up, stretch, crack your fingers, crack your toes, crack your back, unshrimp your position, grab something more to drink. Just get comfy cozy. Thank you for the hydrate, Toot, and Toot also changing the vibes on Spirit City to thunder. Oh no. There we go. Some lovely thunder. I do really enjoy the rainstorm sounds and the thunder sounds. So yeah, what's everybody working on? Do you have your own plans for May? I was talking a little bit about Mania, Stitch Mania. Do you have your own version of Stitch Mania that you're planning on doing? I've also heard there are plans for Mirabilia May. Mirabilia being a designer, a designer. I think all of the Mirabilias are designed by Nora Corbett. I think it's just Mirabilia is the brand name. Anyways. So Mirabilia May is one. Monogamous May is one. So I think Toot's going to be doing that. Because Toot says Tooey until their brain is gooey. Polly's May goals is finish the sweater. You're so close. Every time you post an update, I'm like, oh, you're so close. I'm sure we'll be talking more about May plans and what we want to do is in the the Discord server. We've got a lovely little crafting community going. Holly says, second goal, to have an embroidery piece to work on. Not the massive cross-stitch one, but a little embroidery one. Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be nice. Just like kind of ease back into it. And Morgan's next plan is to try knitting different tiny creatures. You've knit like 13 frogs or something now. It's time to branch out. Well, I mean, you don't have to branch out that far. Claire Garland has so many really cool creatures. The crocodile, if you haven't seen The Crocodile by Claire Garland, that one, it's very tempting to me. It looks so cute. And yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with our friend Morgan's work, Morgan makes the most adorable little frogs, the viral TikTok Claire Garland frog. Little outfits, little backstories. So cute. Maybe a turtle. Yeah, turtle would be good. I picked up the book Knitted Animal Friends by Louise Crowther. And I really like the style of toy in that book. And the basic bodies of each animal are pretty similar, and then it's just small differences in like the ears and the facial details and things. But each animal comes with like a full little outfit. It's so cute. Like just the temptation to knit one of the animals and then like all of the little tiny outfits for them. So cute. Morgan says, I know, so cute. I love so many of her patterns. You're trying out the Sutsu bear right now because you love little hats. Yeah, Polly, if you picked up that the bundle, it was in the Humble bundle of knitting things. Knitting books. That's the word I was looking for. Was Knitted Animal Friends. And Knitted Animal Socks. Two wildly different designers. But I have actually knitted a pair of socks from Knitted Animal Socks. And it's another book I can highly recommend. Alright, time to move on to a mushroom. So if that's 1, 2, 3. Because she has 2 of them. There's Knitted Animal Friends and then Knitted Wild Animal Friends, I think. And I'm happy I picked up the Humble Bundle with Knitted Animal Friends, but Wild Animal Friends has the elephant in it. Yes, Knitted Animal Friends by Louise Crowther. Dude says, badger, 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 badger. Mushroom, mushroom. Oh, it's a snake. That joke took a bit too long. That's okay. And also, I think all of you are too young to get it. Yes, Polly. Get all the Louise Crowther books. Just all the little outfits are so cute. There's like a little like dress with a pinafore. Oh. Precious. Just precious. Oh, back to Penny. Penny's doing a scope. Oh, I missed it. Penny, will you scope for us again? Maybe. Oh no, he's just going away. Might be heading back to his hide. He's had enough of this being on camera. So that's another reason that ball pythons are adorable pets, is they do periscopes, which is just like when they put their head like straight up, but they can do it with like half of their bodies. Like they can scope really high. It's heckin' precious. Yeah, it looks like Penny's going to hide behind his hide. There is cat hair on my mic, and my face is close enough to my mic that the cat hair is tickling my nose. I just heard Toot go, "Aww." So I'm wondering if Penny's doing something cute. Not that I can see. We might be on a delay. We're on Penny watch, everyone. We're watching for the adorableness. Penny was peeking through the flowers. Oh, my heart. I just tried to set my Bepsis down on a bobbin of floss. That could have ended really poorly. I've really enjoyed working on this little short project, though. I know I'm not going slow, like it says. But I've been kind of like, I've played around with colors a little bit. I'm making changes. And even in the stitching process, I was kind of jumping around from part to part and working on the bits that I wanted to work on. Not necessarily doing it like in a set order. Because usually what I'll do is I'll do all of one color in the entire piece. And then I'll go to the next color. But what I was kind of doing was I started, like I did his entire face, and then I did his cookies, and then I did his mug, and then I went and did like part of his shell and then part of his foot. So, and then I jumped over here obviously to do the flowers. And it's just been really fun seeing him come together like that. Toot had a great idea of making little GIF or like progress GIFs. So we both take progress pictures of our works every day, but she actually put hers in a GIF maker to like do like a time lapse, which is so cool. And I'm definitely going to do it for this as well. But I think I might wait until it's done because it's almost done. The bigger projects, I might do like a month by month time lapse. I think that would be fun too. Thank you for the hydrate, Toot. One of my May plans was to start that spooky craft corner possibly on Friday's stream. Like have it as one of the wheel spin options. But we'll see if I can wait that long. I could be too impatient. I want to work on everything. I want to work on the sampler because I love Quaker and primitive style samplers, like with a little bit of a twist. I really want to work on my Celtic Goddess piece. Turnitrix, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm so glad you hopped over. We're just talking about our crafting plans for May. Hanging out with Penny, the ball python, on Critter Cam. And we've got Early on my desk. All the animals appreciate the follows. If you're working on anything tonight, or if you have any big crafting plans for May, please let us know. Yay, all the animals indeed. That's what you get when you tune into a Cozy DH stream. You get all kinds of all creatures great and small. Okay, bye, Early. You guys can you see just the very tip of her tail? She moved away, but not far. Turnitrix says that turtle has you sent. Awesome. This is Slow Down by Mama Witch Cross Stitch on Etsy. I made a few edits to the colors and changed up the florals around it. But he is almost done. Almost done. Hoping to finish him in the next couple of days. Oh, you have the banjo possum? I think banjo possum, is that one? Is it called Possum Traveler? Because we might have that one as well. I definitely have her possum tea time. I have so many Mama Witch in my queue. We got eaten by the sale that Toot just posted. The buy 7 get 40% off. Deadly. Deadly. What was I saying? It's just Possum cross stitched in the shop. The little guy's got a banjo and a hat and some moonshine. Aw, he sounds adorable. Yeah, I love her possum critters. They're so good. Holly says, funny enough, when I went to summer camp, the counselors all had nicknames. When you became a counselor, Possum was your nickname. Aw. That's cute. Yeah, I know that's a big tradition at some summer camps. It wasn't at the one that I went to. Which, in retrospect, it should have been because, like, I went to summer camp in an area of the country where there are very few names. There was a lot of Sarahs. But yeah, I want to work on everything, like, and I want to work on the Kyrie and Sora piece because I finally finished actual Kyrie and Sora, and now I've just got the landscape ground that they're sitting on, which I think will be really cool to see it come together with all the different shades of color. So I'm really excited to work on that, and yeah, I'm excited to work on all of the things. And I want to start all of the new things because I'm also excited to work on those. That autumn, the pumpkin color sampler from Owl Forest Embroidery is just, it's calling my name. That and the nostalgic tarot. I want. But I am trying to be good. Alright, so that's not one mushroom finished, but the red bit finished. The possum one was kind of special, Trix says. I got stranded away from home for a day and spent the night at a friend's house unexpectedly and passed my time bobbing the colors I got for that piece. Aw. So it's kind of like a memory. A few months later, like 3 days before it was done, I realized I was going to give it to that friend. That's cute. It's like a memory piece, and just a special thing all around. Wasn't planned, just felt right, and she loved it. That's good. It's always so nice when you make something and it just clicks with the person that you give it to. Am I slightly avoiding filling in the medium brown on the turtle shell? Absolutely. Mainly because I occasionally have to hold it really close to my face, and that just doesn't make for a good stream. And also, it's after sundown here. Almost after sundown here. And that might be best done in direct sunlight. Like, it's not the 18 count, it's the trying to find the gaps. So I'm basically, this whole section, I'm just filling it in with one color, but like trying to see all of the little tiny gaps where there are no stitches, and then going back and trying to figure out where I did just one leg of a stitch when the color is really close to the other colors I'm stitching around. So I'll just make mushrooms until then. see this pretty miss with her pretty little curled tail. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus on you. Little pretty miss. Turner Trick says, oh man, I'm nervous about that portion on the next piece you're going to do. Haven't even started and you're nervous about that. Yeah, I get that. I get that, being nervous about an upcoming project, especially if it's something that you are not a technique that you're not familiar with or something like that. And my quarter stitch crisis, thanks so much for hopping in. I'm so glad you could come back and join us. I also think I tend to overthink some projects, and I get just way too up in my head. And then, like the Celtic Goddess piece I'm working on, at the time that I started it, it was the biggest piece I'd ever done. Or the biggest piece I had ever started at 12,000 stitches, and it was almost full coverage. And I think if I bought the pattern and then I started it like the next day. And I think if I hadn't just dove in, I would have overthought it completely and never started it and never kind of branched out. So I'm definitely glad that sometimes I just dive headlong into things. The turtle is so cute. Thank you. Yes, it's a pattern by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. It's called Slow Down. I've made some edits to it, but he's almost done. I've got to finish up these. So the mushrooms here, and then there's like a couple white spots on the berries here. And then I just need to fill in his shell and the rest of his feet. Like, I'm nervous about this nostalgic tarot just because of the sheer size of it. Because I have decided I am going to do all 22 cards because I'm going to love all 22 cards, and trying to pick just 5 or 6 of them is going to be stressful in and of itself. So, but each card is 110 by 60 stitches. So each card is quite large, and then there's 22 cards, and then there's the frame. So it's just a big piece. And even if I work on it in tiny chunks, it's still a big piece. And that was very intimidating. Is very intimidating still. But on the other hand, it's the nostalgic tarot. If you guys haven't seen that one, let's see if I can show you guys. So I'm talking about this Sal from the Witchy Stitcher. If you guys haven't seen it. It's so basically it's the entire Major Arcana in this Lisa Frank style, and I'm obsessed, and I want to do. So she released a frame for it, so you could do it all as nostalgic is Lisa Frank, but you know, Etsy, you can't say Lisa Frank because then Lisa Frank will come for you. So every time the Witchy Stitcher publishes a pattern that's called nostalgic, what she really means is Lisa Frank. So she published a frame. Let's see. So she published a frame with like this beautiful header on it. But the frame is gigantic. So, yeah. But I'm very, it's stuck in my brain. It's stuck in my brain. Very 90s, so it works out. So 90s. And Polly says, woohoo, I have 1.5 inches of ribbing on the sweater, starting the bind off. Nice. Did you already do the sleeves, or are you going back to do the sleeves? All right, see you in a bit, Turnitrix. I usually do my sleeves before I do the body of my sweater, just because I know that I will be stranded on Sleeve Island for 11,000 years. My Quarter Stitch Crisis says, I think I saw someone on IG doing that one with glow-in-the-dark thread. I have a lot of glow-in-the-dark thread. I could swap out the whites for glow-in-the-dark thread. Do I want to work with that much glow-in-the-dark thread on 18 count black, however? How much do I dislike myself? And how much do I like the effect of the glow-in-the-dark thread? Polly says she's going back to do the sleeves so you can make the stripes on the sleeves match up with the stripes on the bodies. Oh, good. Oh, that's what they did. They subbed out the... It isn't white. It's 3866? 3866 or 3865, which are like slightly off whites. I always just use the B5200. Yeah, I think that's all that we need to do of the 918 as well. Look how nice and neat my back is for my leaves. And look how chaotic and horrific the back is for the head. I usually do chaos backs though, so chaos back is not new for me. It's early time. It's early time. Putting my needle on my needle minder, not in front of early. Oh, thank you so much for the hydrate, too. Now I want to start the Lisa Frank even more. With the promise of glow-in-the-dark thread. Okay, I need 822 to finish off the mushrooms. Early, can I get into my box, please? Early must sneeze. Oh, and I forgot to hydrate. Everybody remember to hydrate with me. Oh, Early's so helpful. This is her favorite spot to lay now, is on my desk between myself and my keyboard. If you watch any of my YouTube videos, Early is in a lot of them. Because she's a very helpful girl. I have a video going up on Wednesday. I forgot what days were. That's my 24 hours of cross stitch vlog. So that's from last weekend. If you guys participated in 24 hours of cross stitch, I did a little, it's 45 minutes long vlog of the weekend. and there's a lot of kitty action in the videos. My quarter stitch crisis says the post is lost to the algorithm. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not a huge user of Instagram for that reason. I find it really difficult to find things. And like if I'm following people, I can't just see the people I'm following and just their posts in the chronological order of when they posted them. There's an algorithm in the way. I'm an old. I don't do algorithms. Even my TikTok is curated. I have Toot Talk. I only watch the TikToks that Toot sends me. So yes, new video on Wednesday. It'll go live at 6:30 Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to be the 24 hours of cross stitch vlog. Again, I had a lot of fun doing that video. It was such a crazy weekend. Definitely a lot weirder and more stressful and more fun than I was anticipating. Quarter Stitch Crisis says, yeah, I basically just watched the stories and that's it. That's kind of what I was doing too. And even then I was really just watching Nitty Natty's stories because the other stories weren't like showing up in order for me. I'm just an old. I do, however, watch a ton of FlossTube. Little bits like this can be a little bit frustrating. Like when you're just at the very end and you've got to change color every 7 stitches. But then they create these like lovely little details that just make the piece come together. And I really like the balance of having the flowers, berries, and mushrooms on the bottom balance out the mug on top. I like that. I've just really enjoyed stitching this piece. I think that's why I've been working on it so much. I started this at the beginning of last weekend and I've only got a day or two more of work left on it. I've just been really enjoying it. And I don't know if that's because I really enjoy Mama Witch patterns, which I do. If it's just been a really enjoyable stitch, which it is, or if I just am a total 18 count convert, which I might be. And I have this piece of 18 count, which I'm going to use the other half for the Halloween heart. I have 18 count oatmeal. And that's it as far as my 18 count stash goes. I have a giant knot. Please hold. My son is back. All right, I'm going to pull up the critter cam. You guys can enjoy Penny's little snoot while I get this knot untangled. The way he just rests his like little tiny face on the edge of something and watches you. He does that all the time, but he'll be watching me while I'm at my desk. And it's just so heckin' cute. Just this little snoot. Little snoot doing a little watch. I'm gonna have to cut this knot out. This is ridiculous. Hi, Melanie. Welcome in. Yes, thank you for enjoying my beautiful son. This is Pennywise, the ball python. He's been keeping us company. Doing little tiny scopes. Melanie says they've held several of the pythons and loved it. Yes, ball pythons are probably my favorite species of snake. I might have said hognoses at one point, but since keeping ball pythons, they're just little puppies. They're little puppy boys. They got chonk bodies. They're slow moving and chill. Yes, Toot has a point that retics are wonderful as well. Retics are basically giant ball pythons. Retics are reticulated pythons. And they get very large. We would love to keep a retic, but there's no way. Because, well, first of all, it's illegal in our province. But also we just don't have the space. And Toot also loves gaboon vipers. Gaboon vipers are very cool. Holly's going to take a break on the bind off. Sounds like a good plan. Melanie says, one Halloween, my cousin put on the cape and scream mask and a black light and had Carmel, the python, around his neck. That would spook some people, I'm sure. Probably for different reasons, depending on the person. I've definitely had Penny around my neck in a photo, and people don't realize it's a live snake for quite a while. Because ball pythons are so chill, right? One of their other names is royal pythons, and that is because the species originates in Africa. And ball pythons are so chill that they were used as jewelry. Like live ball pythons, royalty would just have them around their necks as a sign of social status. So that's why they're also known as royal pythons. Because they're just so chill. Moon says, I love gaboon vipers too. I was thinking of them when saying I love chonk bodies. I love that the gaboon vipers, which are incredibly dangerous snakes, very dangerous, highly venomous. At the Toronto Zoo, their enclosure is right next to the ball pythons, which are like the most harmless snakes. Your son is a gaboon viper with legs, chonk and handsome. I don't even know which son you're referring to. Only 2 of them have legs. Oh, another fun fact about ball pythons is they have legs. They have vestigial, what's called spurs, which are like little spikes of bone connected to their spine. And, yeah, they have like little tiny legs that do absolutely nothing. Also, if you are looking to keep them, males do not get as large as females. So if you're looking for a snake that'll stay fairly small, a male ball python is a good bet because they'll get about 4 feet long. Like Penny, you can see he's about his full adult size now. He might get a little bit bigger, but he's pretty much there. And he's quite a manageable size. I don't think I can finish the mushroom with this little bit of 822 I have left. Orchid, you made it. Hello, Orchid. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, Penny's coming to see us a little bit more. He's definitely interested in the camera. He knows something's in here. Melly says, nice fact, female rules. It's actually true of most snake species, if not all, that the females get bigger than the males. And yes, hi Orchid, I'm so glad you were able to make it. We are going to get wrapped up and raid out in about 15 minutes, but you can hang out with us until then for sure. In the mammal kingdom, it's much rarer for females to be larger than males in species. Hyenas, which are my favorite animal, my favorite mammal, let's say, is one of the exceptions. Melanie says, I wanted to say hello and beautiful cross stitch. Good night, all. Good night, Melanie. Thanks so much for dropping in. I'm so glad you were able to swing by. And Moon says hyenas are matriarchal. Yes. Yeah, I've heard hyenas described as non-binary for that reason. But the person who's using non-binary is in not adhering to traditional gender roles. There's my son. He's doing a little scope for you guys. I apologize for the sudden baby talk. I couldn't help it. He is looking directly at Toot. No, he's looking at you. Well, now he's not looking at either one of us. But yes, I heard hyenas being described as non-binary because they don't fill traditional gender roles. And I'm like, that's not what non-binary means. But okay. Now you see he's being low and flat. He is scary, spooky Cooper. Gonna get you. Vampazzo, welcome. No worries, you're never too late. Stream's been going good. We're hanging out with my son Pennywise. Talking about our plans for May. Stitching away. I have a Toot hair in my cross stitch. Oh, Vampazza, did you end up connecting with Infinity Bear for your pattern from last week's stream? I think they got back to me, but I just wanted to make sure you got everything okay. Okay, great. Yeah, I did a bit of a wander through Infinity Bear's shop after stream. I was like, I wish to have all of the things. Orchid is about to start their second cross-stitch piece. Let's go, Orchid! Orchid's first one turned out really good. I was really impressed for a first piece. If you guys want to check it out, Orchid dropped it in the Discord. And I encourage all of you to share whatever you're working on in the Discord because it's a wonderful little crafty community. And if you do need like help or feedback on something, it's also a great place to go for that. Someone was needed help with a mending issue and I don't sew, so I didn't know where to start. And the community was like completely there and totally rallied, gave them tons of great information. So that was really cool. So yeah, definitely check out the Discord. It's fun. It's chill. You get all the stream updates before everyone else. And there's crafting. We talk about gaming. Toot posts a bit of daily sunshine every day. Oh, look at that cute baby. Polly says, we got you, boo. But yeah, Orchid did amazing for their first cross stitch. Also, we got Orchid into the cult. I think half of my community is in the cross stitch cult now, which if they weren't already, which is great. I know, he's too cute. Penny, you're too cute. It's illegal. So like I was saying, his beautiful pale coloration is because of his morphs. So that's the lesser vanilla pastel is making him have all those like really light creams. His belly is like pure white. I know they can scope for a really long time. because if the normal wild type coloration is quite a dark black, orange, red, and he is so pretty. I love him. All right, there's the mushrooms done. Let me see. Yep, there you can see them. The white stem of the mushroom doesn't really show up on camera, but it does stand out in person. So yeah. So yeah, that's Slow Down by Mama Witch Cross Stitch with my own edits. So I think I'm done with the floral spray. I might add like a mushroom or something here just to kind of balance out the negative space. I'm gonna decide when I finish. So the only thing I have left now is to fill in the 611 in the body and finish off the feet. So yeah, and then he's done. Very exciting. Penny thinks the camera's going to do a trick. So I'm not gonna start a new thread because we're gonna get wrapped up here. Toot says Penny finally understood the assignment. Yes, be pretty for camera. Oh boy. So yes, check out the Discord. It's the best place to hang out if you want stream updates, if you want to be part of a really awesome little community, cozy community. If you are watching this on YouTube, awesome. Stay on YouTube. If you're watching this on Twitch, go over to YouTube. The replays of the streams, so basically the VODs, are available on the channel as well as my other content. I do a podcast every other week, and then alternate weeks I do like another kind of short form video. Sometimes I'll give myself the week off. But this Wednesday is going to be my 24 hours of cross stitch vlog. I take you with me through the entire weekend, starting at 6:45 a.m. on Friday. You get to see everything that I get up to as a small-time zookeeper. And we go right through the end of the weekend and wrap up on Monday. So it's really fun. And there are a ton of other ways that you can support the stream. The best way to support is to follow on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube. If you like the video, leave a comment on videos on YouTube. That always helps my numbers. There are other ways to support us. To put up a link to the link tree, you can go check us out on Etsy. I have lots of cross stitch patterns, knitting patterns, crochet patterns available, more to come on the Etsy. And even if you don't buy anything from the Etsy, if you just favorite the shop or favorite the items, that helps push those out to potential new customers for me. And of course, everything you purchase through the Etsy, every coffee you buy us, goes right back into feeding and caring for our animals. So you could buy Penny a lovely little coffee if you wanted to. And thank you everybody for hanging out today. This has been a lovely chill stream. I'm really glad we got to have a little bit of a snake cam. Orchid says 6:45 a.m. ungodly hours. I was making coffee and giving cats medication at 6:45 a.m. And then Orchid goes to favorite all the items in shop. Aw, thank you, Orchid. Appreciate you. Yeah, Penny's being a total ham now that we're getting wrapped up. So, new video on Wednesday on the YouTube channel, and then we're going to be back Friday evening for the next live stream. Again, it's going to be on Twitch or YouTube. And It's just gonna be another crafting stream. We're gonna be spinning the Wheel of Whips. So if you're not familiar with this, I put all of my current active whips on a wheel. We spin it. You can get me to spin it up to every 15 minutes. And I have to change whips at the drop of a hat. Oh, Cassidy. I know I was silent, but I was stitching and then washing dishes and vibing along. Oh, that's so nice, Cassidy. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And I hope I helped with the dishes. Have a great night. All right, so let's so everybody on Twitch, say goodbye to YouTube. We're gonna say goodbye to YouTube. We're gonna say goodbye to Cassidy and Melanie and my Quarter Stitch Crisis and Polly. And everyone. So YouTube, I will see you again on Friday. I'll see you again on Friday. I will see you in the Discord. I will see you on Twitch. I will see you in the live streams. And as always, my friends, I will see you in my heart. All right. Bye. Bye, YouTube. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. All right. So my